If you're in the market for a new smartphone and money is no issue, then you're probably going to want to purchase one of these three expensive beasts. I have with me today the OnePlus 8 Pro, Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, and iPhone 11 Pro Max undergoing an AnTuTu benchmark test. We have updated the software across the board on all three devices over here. We have 12 gigs of RAM on the two phones on the left, 4 gigs on the iPhone, LPDDR5, two phones on the left, LPDDR4X on the iPhone over here, Snapdragon 865 processing chips on the two phones on the left, and an A13 Bionic chip with the iPhone. 120Hz AMOLED panels, two phones on the left, 60Hz on the iPhone 11 Pro Max over there, 1080p on the two phones on the left there. We've dropped them from 1440p and iPhone is native at 1242p. We have enabled game space and fanatic mode on the OnePlus 8 Pro, high performance and game launcher mode on the S20 Ultra, and unfortunately there is no performance mode option on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. We have AnTuTu version 8.3.9 on the two devices on the left, on the Android devices, and version 8.2.1 on the iPhone over here, being the latest Android version and latest iOS version respectively. Guys, this is TechNick, and without further ado, let's go! We're going to take a quick sneak peek at battery percentage and degrees in Celsius at the start of the test over here, as well as CPU degrees in Celsius at the start. We'll compare this at the end of the test. We have versions 8 on all three of them, of course the lowest version being on the iPhone, but that is the current latest version on the iPhone. Let's see how they do. We are currently at 100%. We've sped up to 2400, now back to 100% real time. Keep an eye out at the bottom of the screen there for more information on whether I'm showing you guys this real time or if I've sped up or slowed down the clip. Later on, we are going to be slowing down the clip a hell of a lot to 5% to see the difference between the 120Hz panels on the left and the half that hertz, which is the iPhone's 60Hz on the right hand side. This is the first start of the AnTuTu version 8 test over here. Not too bad on all of them. All of them are nice and buttery smooth. Same thing can be said with the second section of AnTuTu version 8 here. Looks pretty good on all three devices. This remained the same on version 7 and 8. So it's good to see that the first two were there. What has changed since version 7 though is the terracotta soldiers, the most demanding part of the AnTuTu version 8 test. That's why it is surprising that the scores are a lot higher with version 8 compared to version 7. But anyway, AnTuTu is rocking these terracotta soldiers. They look absolutely awesome. Take a look at this. We're going to slow down all the horses over here, what you've just seen right now, so that we can compare the jitteriness between the Snapdragon processing chips on the left and the A13 Bionic chip on the right hand side. You must remember that the A13 is going to be replaced by the A14 Bionic probably at the end of the year, closer to September. So 5% slowed down. Take a look at this over here. Looks really jittery because I have slowed it down, but there's a lot more ghosting and stuttering going on the iPhone. I think the smoothest being the S20 Ultra over there. Stay tuned guys, we're going to get to this again when we do the scrolling section of the test. I'll slow the clip down once more. We're going to finish these terracotta soldiers over here and then we'll get to that next section. I think this part of the test, when I did a FPS test using AnTuTu, make sure you check out that video. After this one, it was sitting at around 20 to 30 frames per second during the terracotta soldier part most of the time on all devices, even on Nubia's Red Magic 5G with 144Hz display. It doesn't matter if you have 144Hz. If this section of the test is that heavy, it's going to be capping at around 30, and that's exactly what it did. Going to the scrolling section, 100% real time once again. We're looking at the iPhone over here. It is streaks ahead of the other two, but it's the AnTuTu version 8 on iOS is slightly different to the ones on Android. Now we're hitting the Android ones over here, slightly delayed, 100% real time. Now we're going to put them all together. I've cropped this and meshed them all together so that you guys can see them side by side. 5% slowed down over here. Look at all the ghosting happening on the iPhone. Still a bit going on the OnePlus 8 Pro. I think the Samsung is actually the smoothest over here. Strange, but there we go. Both 120Hz panels. I think the Samsung looks the best. Here are the battery results at the end of the test. The OnePlus 8 Pro drained the most by 5%. It also drained by 22.55 milliamp hours per minute over here. Take a look at the milliamp hour per minute calculation that I put on the left of the screen there for more information. The S20 Ultra just dropped by 4% with the middle milliamp hour per minute drain of just 20, and the iPhone 11 Pro Max also just drained by 4%, same as that of the S20 Ultra, but because it has a smaller 3969 milliamp hour battery, which is more than 1000 milliamp hours smaller than the Samsung, it only had 15.87 milliamp hour per minute drain, which is absolutely fantastic. When it comes to the degrees in Celsius end of the batteries over here, the OnePlus 8 Pro was the hottest with 40.5 degrees Celsius and added 5.9 degrees Celsius. The Samsung wasn't the hottest device, but it still added the same in degrees Celsius as the OnePlus 8 Pro of 5.9 degrees Celsius. The iPhone only capped at 32 degrees Celsius and only added 2 degrees Celsius over there. Very impressive, Apple. Looking at CPU temperature at the end of the test here, the OnePlus 8 Pro got the hottest at 44 degrees in Celsius, added just 6 degrees in Celsius, not too bad, but the S20 Ultra just added 4 degrees Celsius over here and only capping out at 38 degrees in Celsius. Great job, Samsung. Unfortunately, there is no way in measuring the CPU temperature on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Let me know if you guys know of any way to actually do this in the comment section down below. Final results here. First place being the OnePlus 8 Pro with 566,000 points. This is very strange considering I usually get closer to 590,000 on the OnePlus 8 Pro, but it is summer here in China and it is ridiculously hot, so that is probably why all these scores are slightly lower than you'd usually see. Second place, surprisingly enough, the 11 Pro Max with 4 gigs of RAM and an A13 Bionic chip, beating the Samsung here with 514,000 points. Samsung in dead last, third place here, 506,101 points. Very disappointing from Samsung. When it comes to subcategories over here, first place for CPU gets awarded to the OnePlus 8 Pro, with last place being the Samsung. When it comes to graphics processing units, the Samsung comes out on top, with the OnePlus being second and the iPhone being last. In the memory department, it's no surprise to see that the DDR5 RAMs on the left-hand side came in first and second respectively, with DDR4X on the iPhone coming in last. User experience first on the OnePlus, second on the iPhone, and last on the Samsung over here. Overall, the OnePlus 8 Pro did the best, obviously coming in first with the highest amount of points and also getting the best subcategory results with the best CPU, memory, and user experience. The iPhone came in second place over here with a higher score than the Samsung. It didn't get the best of any category, but it did get the second best CPU and user experience, just second best to that of the OnePlus 8 Pro. The Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra came in third place, of course, with the lowest total score. However, it did get the best GPU subcategory score over here, trumping the other two devices here, but it did indeed get the worst CPU and user experience, two very important categories. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. This is TechNick, and I'll see you in the next one.